the way we're going to do this is we're going to start at the bottom. We're going to do the special categories before Best Original Anime. And we're going to work starting from Best Fantasy, which is like right there somewhere. I don't know. Imagine. You can see it on the screen. So we're going to be starting with Best Fantasy. And we're going to work our way from left to right and then go up. We're going to like serpentine our way up the chain. And then before we get to Best Original Anime, we'll go ahead and vote on the 2 special categories. And then we'll go ahead and just vote on the last 2 Best Original Anime and Anime of the Year. I'm really excited for this because I haven't looked at any of the nominations. I've been in the dark for this. You might be thinking, Skullfish, why do you have... What makes you certified to have an opinion on anime? I watch a lot of anime. Probably put more hours into anime than most of you have been alive. So... You might be thinking, oh, well, like, what about right now, huh? Well, are you watching anime right now? I just might be. I might be watching anime on my second monitor. You don't know that. You'll never know that. It's a secret for me. So let's go ahead. Let's jump right in. This is probably going to be a couple of spicy takes, a couple of hot takes, and then we'll get to, like, or it won't be. Who knows? I don't know what other people think of the shows that I like. I watched a good bit of shows last year. I think I've watched all of the shows that should be included in here. There might be a few that I missed or a few movies that I missed. But I think we're ready to go. Tier content, pretty much. This is basically tier content. And then once we finish up with this, we'll go ahead and we'll jump back in and finish up Dead Rising, and we'll have a blast of it. So, let's go ahead. Let's jump right in. Hopefully the background music isn't too loud. Hopefully I'm not too loud. So, first is we're going to do best voice artist performance. Okay. So we have Amanda Lee, Amelie for... Oh, is this dub? This is all dub. Okay. So, we have the studio name and then the person's name, but I don't know how that transitions. Who did Zach voice? Because I'm probably going... Let's Google it real quick. Zach... What happens if I don't want to like click select and have it go. Okay. I know what we'll do. We'll pull up another window and have that on the side. Yo! I think I'm pretty sure if he voiced the main character, I'm going to be voting for that. Oh, they've done a lot of stuff. Holy cow. They started voicing stuff in 2015. Wait, and they were born in 98, which means they started, what we're doing random is we're voting on the Anime Awards right now. Which means he would have started when he was what, like 16, 17? That's crazy. Anyways, he was David Martinez, he was the lead role, so we're gonna be voting for Cyberpunk because I love Cyberpunk. Yeah, we're gonna vote for this one. I don't think that's a spicy take. Enter your email to vote. Hold on, am I not signed in? Why do I have to enter my email every time? Oh my god. Okay, don't look. It's a secret. Okay. Okay, it's back now. Okay, vote was submitted. Great. Next category. Oh, we can just go through next category? Oh, we're not starting with Anime of the Year. You're delusional. No. Okay, best voice artist Japanese. All right. Ooh, okay, so this is a tough one. I don't know who any of these people are. I was watching My Hero Academia earlier. This season is crazy. This season is crazy. Also, I'm gonna like turn the light down a little bit because it keeps flickering. Because it's mad. I don't know why it's mad. When do we find out the answers? I think voting ends tomorrow. Well, you see how, like, caution, strobe lighting. Okay. I don't know any of these people. So let's look at some people. This season of My Hero is so good. It's Demon Slayer. Hey, did you hear about the new feature in Minecraft that's being added? I did not. So, oh god, I don't know any of these people. I want to vote based on the character because I think if Misaki is, because my vote's probably going to go to Maiden Abyss because I love Maiden Abyss. I don't know if I don't think I would put it on Attack on Titan. Hatsuki Hanae is... That's Tanjiro. Okay. So it's... is it just main characters then? So then... Pyro Ai is probably... Jolene. So then Misaki... Unless, hold on. So Misaki Kuno, she voiced. Oh, just tell me, Maiden Abyss. She was Fapta. Okay. If it's Spy Family, I'm gonna lose it. Ooh. Hold on. That's... Ooh. Because I said before that I thought Fapta had a really, really good voice actress. The new My Hero opening is very good. It is a very good banger. It's by Eve. If you like the opening, check Eve out. They have incredible music. They make awesome music. They make awesome music videos. Okay, so it comes down to if Chika and Sai voiced not the main character. She voiced Chisato. Okay, Chisato was good, but if it was the companion in the show, I would have voted for that. I'm voting for Maiden Abyss. I'm voting for Maiden Abyss because Jujutsu Kaisen's first opening was Eve, and the last ending for Chainsaw Man was Eve, Fight Song. Yeah, we're voting for Fapta. Oh my god, I loved her performance. It was so good. Okay. So best voice. Okay, so we're on the best romance. Best romance. I watched all of these except for Komi Can't Communicate, the second series. I didn't watch the second season of Komi Can't Communicate. I know, fight me. It was on Netflix. I don't watch anime on Netflix that much. Except for Cyberpunk, but it's fine. So we have Call of the Night. Call of the Night was good. It was on High Dive. It was different enough for me to be very invested in the show. I liked the opening. I liked the ending. I liked everything about the show. And I really liked the relationship between the two main characters. But we have My Dress-Up Darling here. And My Dress-Up Darling and Kaguya, the season finale for Kaguya this year blows everything else out of the water. So it's probably going to be Kaguya-sama. And I'm going to vote for it because it deserves to win here. I wasn't too big of a fan of Shikamori's Not Just a Cutie. I thought that show was just kind of like mid, maybe a step up above mid, but it was okay. It wasn't my cup of tea. Okay, best fantasy. We have Demon Slayer, the most recent season. Oh no. Okay. So we have three of my favorite shows this past year. We have the Demon Slayer entertainment arc. We have the most recent season of Maiden Abyss, and we have Mushoku Tensei season 1 part 2. Let's go over the highlights for each one of these, okay? Also, spoilers ahead. Entertainment District arc, we have Tengen, who I love, and I absolutely love the final fight scene. Every time I watch that episode, I get chills. It's the way the music builds, the score is incredible. It's an incredibly animated fight scene. Like 10 out of 10. Incredible. Now, Maiden Abyss, though, I love Maiden Abyss. And I think that the way that they did the story for this season, the way that they animated it, and the way that everything starts like coming together by the end was really well put together. I wasn't a fan. I was angry at a few choices that were made towards the end of the show, but it's meant to make you angry and upset and like emotional. So I'm not mad at it for doing those things. Mushoku Tensei I love, but it's consistently at like a pretty high point, right? Especially with the second part being like their fight back to the main continent and them like arriving there and being like, oh, everything has happened. But yeah, exactly. Demon Slayer, the majority of the episodes is fighting, and it's very high quality. It's constantly happening, constantly in your face. It's like the new season of My Hero, right? where it's just action non-stop, and it's incredible. It's great. I love when I'm like stimulated that much. I'm gonna vote Demon Slayer. I'm gonna vote Demon Slayer here because that arc. Okay, we're voting for Demon Slayer. That's what we're doing. We're on the best drama now. Oh, okay. We have a couple. I don't know. I don't think I would say that drama is one of the main categories for Cyberpunk. I see Shigaraki and I'm scared. Right? Like, it's just like, well, if I just touch it and it bros up, that's my new power. Everything else just I don't like just goes away. Now we have to go over the final season part 2. That's the most recent one yet? It's getting another season that's also being broken up into 2 parts. I don't know what that is. I don't know anime. It's okay, random. Just stick along for the ride and then we'll hop into Dead Rising. So Attack on Titan, the second season, right, is very, very much a drama, right? There's a lot more of consequences being shown, a lot of actions and decisions being made, and then the consequences of those decisions being kind of evolved throughout the course of the season. It's really good, but I don't know if I like it more than Made in Abyss. Right, those are the 2 we're going between. Dance Dance Dancer, it was good. It was by Studio Mappa, so you know it looks good, right? But I think for this one it's between Attack on Titan and Made in Abyss for me, and I'm gonna go with Made in Abyss. I gotta vote for my favorite show here somewhere. I think as a drama, it's incredible. As an action, I wouldn't say so, which is why we didn't vote for it. Or as a general fantasy, it's really, oh god, is it better than Demon Slayer as a fantasy? It might be. It's too late. I already voted on it. Best comedy. Ooh, your boy Kong Ming is probably the best comedy. I laughed out loud. All right, maybe I didn't laugh out loud with that one. I did enjoy it. Your boy Kong Ming was very fun. It was very enjoyable. Uncle from Another World was okay. It was okay. Opening is definitely the rumbling. It definitely is for Attack on Titan. I don't know for this one. Best comedy. Spy Family. Both seasons came out last year. So I gotta evaluate this as like what made me like genuinely laugh the most. And I think it's gotta go to Spy Family here because Kaguya-sama like leans more into like the romantic piece and not as much of the comedy piece, which is okay. And like it pays off in droves for it. My Dress Up Darling has a lot of very funny moments, but I think the moment that takes the cake for me is Spy Family because the tennis episode really, really gives me a lot of joy. I love that episode a lot, and I laughed out loud for that episode several times. So because of that, I'm gonna vote for Spy Family here. All right, we're on to Best Action. Oh, we have a few contenders here. I'm going to ignore Attack on Titan because it was good, but I don't want to vote for Attack on Titan. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Cyberpunk Edgerunners was good, but it's up against a lot of heavy hitters here. The Love Hotel scene is really good. That's what I was comparing it to, was the Love Hotel scene to the tennis scene, and I'm like weighing them both. I think the tennis scene really gives me a little bit more joy. I wish we could watch clips of it. Like, but I think this is just like Best Action, and then yeah, it just goes through like all the different titles. We have a couple favorites here. Spy Family as an action, I'm gonna drop that as an action. It's a great show, but it's not out of what it's up against. I'm gonna drop Attack on Titan and Spy Family out. Licorice Recoil was really, really good. So I'm just gonna compare like the highlight moments for me here. which is, again, the final fight scene in the Entertainment District arc when Tengen stands back up and blocks the blade going for Tanjiro's neck and is in front of him with one arm, and then the fight scene ensues. That 3 seconds chills every single time. It's an incredibly well animated and it's incredibly emotional. The Atom Smasher fight, because the Atom Smasher fight is just them like both engage, like both using their cybernetics, right, and just kind of like mirroring each other. It's not really, for me, it's not enough of a brawl with a lot going on around it, right? It's a good fight, but I don't think it holds a candle to this fight, at least for me, for the Demon Slayer fight. In Stone Ocean, the moment that stands out to me the most is when Father Pucci says, "I've been waiting for this moment," and the guard falls past him and he pulls out the gun and he shoots at Jolene 3 times, and then time stops and Jotaro enters the scene. That is an incredible moment. But is it better than the Tengen fight? Because, like, I can still see every frame of the Tengen fight in my brain. It just plays on repeat every day. And then Licorice Recoil, the last episode, where they where Takina crashes through the wall and is there with Chisato, and then that episode cuts to the ending. That's a good moment. That's a really good moment. Okay, it's between Demon Slayer and Licorice Recoil right now. Because both of those, Spy Family is a no-go here. Spy Family is definitely a no-go here. Which would it be? Which speaks to me on the emotional level right here? Because it's really neck and neck between these two for me. But if we just go off the moment, I would give it to Licorice Recoil. But now that we've narrowed it down to 2, I think we can take a step back and look at the whole thing. And again, Demon Slayer, the majority of the episodes being action, I gotta give it to Demon Slayer, right? Because it's not just that moment, right? There's the moment when like Zenitsu comes out from under the rubble and starts his fight, and that's very emotional. We have everything before that leading up to that. In terms of action, it's pretty nonstop. I'm gonna give it to Demon Slayer. All right, must protect at all cost characters. We have Anya. I'm going to remove Ranking of Kings. Actually, I think we're okay. So for me, this is between Anya and Marin. You just gotta take him out. Choco Komi from Komi Can't Communicate is pretty up there. I hear a lot about her, but Anya's too precious for this world. She loves peanuts. She hates carrots. We're giving the vote to Anya. That, and in terms like of all of these, right? What's the most stressful situation the character's been in? Anya tried to defuse a bomb, and we're all like, "Oh, baby girl, don't do that. Everybody's gonna die." And then she uses ketchup to send a message. It's going with Anya. That one's a pretty no-brainer. All right, best supporting character. We have Ai Hayasaka from Love is War. That is the maid to Kaguya. That's her like assistant. We have Anya, Rebecca from Cyberpunk, Yor from Spy Family, and Tengen from Demon Slayer. Again, I'm going to remove Ranking of Kings. Rebecca's a good supporting character. It's not Anya or Yor. I feel like I can safely rule out Spy Family. Not that they're not great supporting characters, but it's a very consistent level with them, and you know, they all have their ups and their downs, but in terms of how much they support the main character and the main character progressing through their daily life, I would say that Anya does a better job than Yor, but I don't think either of them compare to Rebecca. But we also have Tengen here, and I wouldn't consider him a supporting character. I would very much consider him a main character here. So let's take what do each of these characters do here? Tengen is a Hashira of sound, and See, I can't see him as a supporting character. Does he support Tanjiro in the fight? No, I would definitely say Tengen is much more of a main character in that arc. And if anything, everyone else is supporting to him in the fights that he's engaging in, right? Like, I wouldn't say he's a supporting character. Yeah, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with him being in here as a supporting character, right? Unless we're just excluding if it's not like the main character, the staple of the show. But Rebecca, I don't think another character is as supportive as Rebecca is to David through the entire of the series, right? I think Rebecca does a great job throughout all of Cyberpunk. A lot of people love her, a lot of people hate her. I think she does a great job. I think her character was really well made. I do love her character a lot for what it is. And because I don't agree with Tengen being supporting here, I'm going to go with Rebecca. We'll see you in a bit, random. All right, best main character. This one, we have David Martinez, Eren Yeager, Maureen, Lloyd, and Chisato. It really is the same 3 anime on repeat, King. It's like the video game awards, right? So for me, this one, see, Licorice Recoil is good, but it's not good for one person, right? So here I'm gonna evaluate these shows based on if that character like really made the show, right? If you remove that character from the show or sub in their character with like a lesser version of that character, and let's say the supporting characters or the main characters, would the show still have the same impact? And Licorice Recoil, I think it would. I think there would be a similar impact if Chisato was not the main character. Now, for like Spy Family, right, would the show have the same impact that it does without Lloyd? And the answer, I think, is no, right? I don't think the show would be the same without Lloyd, because we have a very rich dynamic between the 3 of those characters, which I don't understand why Anya and Yor are supporting characters, because they're also very much main characters in that show, but we're going to ignore that for now. For Maureen, I don't know. I don't think she's strong enough to stand on her own as a main character. And I think I'm going to have to agree with you, Ogval. I think, like, Eren's built different. Because we see so much of his motivations throughout the course of the series, and we see them come to fruition in this most recent season, right? We see a lot from Eren. We see a lot of his motivations, his determination, what he's willing to sacrifice, how far he's willing to go to make it happen, right? And we don't quite see that with Chisato on her own. A lot of, I feel, her motivations come from Takino, right? They play off of each other very well, and I don't think Chisato, by herself in the series, stands alone enough to be like, oh, the series is great because of Chisato. For me, Attack on Titan is great because of Eren Yeager. He has such a complex character, and we don't see a lot of development we don't see that much development in a lot of characters. So I'm giving it to Eren Yeager here for best main character. Best director, this is just gonna be which show I like the most here, and it's gonna be Demon Slayer here. I think the direction for the Entertainment District arc was incredible. I think the pacing was great. Every episode felt like 3 minutes. It just felt like everything was quick, fast, and I was like, why is the episode over? Can I have more now, please? I really loved the pacing there. The pacing of Cyberpunk was really good, but you think it's Attack on Titan again? I don't know, because I like the music score a lot more in Demon Slayer than I do in Attack on Titan, which is impactful for me. But if we go off of Licorice Recoil, I'm pretty sure isn't adapted from anything. So I might give it to them. the slow burn of Attack on Titan into like monumental consequences is great. I don't think it's bad. Ooh. But if we go off of, I'm pretty sure Licorice Recoil isn't adapted from anything. I'm pretty sure it's a unique work. And in that case, I would say it goes to either Licorice or Cyberpunk, because they're both. Sure, Cyberpunk is like based off of Cyberpunk, but all the characters are unique. It's new characters in this pre-established world. So is that enough? Because if we go between these two and which one I liked more, let's compare moments again. When Eren turns into the Skeleton Titan, when they're in like the mindscape with the first Titan, right? And Eren's bound to the ground, and then he stands up, and I forget what the other guy's name is because it just wasn't important. It's been so long since I've watched it. And we have the other guy just go like, what? And when he's going to attack Marley, those are huge moments. Those are great moments. Because so we have several moments. We have at least like 3 moments that are great. When Gabby shot him and then like his head is enough to crack. Yeah, the final season, King, was supposed to be 1 season, and then they made it 2 parts, and now they made an announcement a couple weeks ago that it's going to, the last part is being broken up into 2 more parts. Yes, I don't know why. I don't think there's really that much more for them to animate, because the series ends very close to where the anime's at right now, so I don't know how they're going to make that like another like 24 episodes, so we'll see. But in terms, oh gosh, because I don't always like the pacing in Attack on Titan, but I always feel rewarded for being with it. But if I go with moments, the moment in Demon Slayer is, again, Tengen coming in, all sound going away. Tanjiro is about to just eat dirt, and Tengen slams in and hits that blade. You hear the ringing out, and like that's I love that scene. Everything in me. And it doesn't end there, right? It keeps going. AoT is the new One Piece at this point. We're not quite there yet, but we could be. Right? And when Tengen starts actually fighting on screen for the first time, those are great moments that are very well done. And every episode is, again, it feels like a cliffhanger, right? I'm like, I want more now. Attack on Titan has a lot of major points that don't happen towards the end. They happen like in the middle. So you have enough time to kind of like process that and see how the characters react to that. And then you're left with like a major plot point that's going to come up in the next episode. And that's good. That's fine. That's the way that I remember most of the season. Licorice Recoil has a lot of great moments, but the only moment that shines out for me is when Takina cracks down the door, stands up next to Chisato as they're fighting the big bad, and then it cuts to the ending. Like, I love that. But when he makes the score against Gyutaro and they fight it out, that is such a good moment. Everything looks incredible on screen. Everything sounds incredible on screen because they have the music in time with what Tengen's doing, which is an incredible thing to do and really adds a lot of impact to that scene. So because of that overlay, I'm gonna go to Demon Slayer, but I want everyone to know that Attack on Titan's a very close second for me here. Okay, best anime song. We're gonna have a lot of opinions about this one. So it's gonna go to your boy Kong Bing. Oh, but we have a lot of good bangers here. Oh no, my nonfiction is here. Oh, the rumbling is good, but okay, let's evaluate. So comedy, I think, is the second opening for Spy Family, right? And it's good, but I don't think it's you know, it stands up to the other ones here for me. Shall We Dance was good, but I'm drawn to the One Piece film because New Genesis was all over my timeline. I adore Ado, I think is how you say their name. As an artist, I listened to all of their music and listened to their music before the One Piece film came out and was like, oh, they sing bangers all the time and it's a good song. But I haven't seen the movie, so I can't give a fair just judgment on it, right? I haven't watched any of One Piece. Who has time for that? Maybe I'm a fake anime fan. Fight me. For my nonfiction, the rumbling broke the internet, though. I really don't like a lot of the later, like all of the, I'm gonna say hot take. Here's the first hot take. All of the Attack on Titan openings sound the same to me. And I can't unhear the next one once I hear it, right? So I don't remember the rumbling at all. I remember Chiki Chiki Bang Bang because it's such a funny opening, but it doesn't, like, it's fun. I loved it. I watch the opening every time I watch an anime, but the rumbling, I don't know. It doesn't, right? Seasons 1 to 3 just all sound the same. And that's all I hear whenever I hear the Attack on Titan opening. Do I know what the rumbling is? I'll get DMC'd. I don't care. Let's see. Let me bring up my other window. Final season opening 2. Oh no, it's that one. Oh no, I remember this. There's many who sing, but they don't always, like, there's a lot that have that, and I love when it happens, right? I love when that happens. I'm voting for my nonfiction. That was good. Okay, best film. This is gonna be great. I didn't watch any of these. I watched the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie. I did not watch The Deer King or Dragon Ball Super or Bubble. I wanted to watch Bubble, but I didn't get to see it. I don't think Inu I got to see. And I don't care enough about One Piece to vote it, so we're voting for Jujutsu Kaisen. This was an easy category. Best score. Ooh. Ooh, okay. For me, it's between Made in Abyss and Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer has great music in the show, right? The thing that I like the most, right, which is a thing that up until the most recent season of My Hero suffered from, was that they reused the score. Not that the score is bad, but I like when there's fresh, there's remixes, there's twists on it. It can still have the same, like, pacing, right? It can still have the same feel, but I need it to be a little different. And My Hero never hit that for me. But Demon Slayer's really good. But I love Kevin Penkin. So now I need to gauge which one made me feel more. And what's great about Kevin Penkin and his work is, for those of you that don't know, he is the first non-Japanese person to win a Japanese award for the score that he made for the original Made in Abyss. And it was an incredible achievement at the time. It's still an incredible achievement, and he makes great work. But now I need to go, what plays to the show better? Because it plays really well in Made in Abyss. But exactly, Yuki Kajiura is here. And they make a lot of good stuff. Cyberpunk's here, but I don't think for score, I don't think I can give it to Cyberpunk. I think I have to give it. Oh, do I have to give it to Demon Slayer here? Because a lot of songs I remember from Made in Abyss, but in terms of how varied the music was, how much it built tension, how much it really made me feel in the moment, I think I got to go Demon Slayer here. I think because I ride you ride the roller coaster with Demon Slayer, right? Because like Made in Abyss is always at like a solid like 8, but riding that roller coaster with the music, it's so good. No, no, no. We're not doing I really want to stay at your house because I listen to that song on repeat all the time. That's not what we're going for here because they didn't make that song. They like may have made a rendition of it, but that song was already included in Cyberpunk beforehand, so I'm not counting that song in the evaluation of the shows. Yeah. Again, we come back to that final scene, right? Because the biggest moment in Made in Abyss is when Rico blows the whistle for the first time and Reg shows up as and like is activated as the artifact. But I don't think that holds a candle to Demon Slayer here. I'm gonna vote Demon Slayer. I'm gonna vote Demon Slayer. God, am I too mainstream for this? You got yourself canceled by saying Spy Family was mid at best. We've almost gotten there. Best ending sequence. Okay. Oh. Oh boy. Okay. AoT. You think AoT had the best ending sequence? Hold on. That was good. That was a pretty banger. That was a pretty good banger. Okay. So we'll do My Heart Has Surrendered. My heart has surrendered. Yeah. But like it's fun, it's upbeat, but it's a bit of a tonal shift from the show, which is a little bit more dramatic. It's funny, it's just comedy, but it's much more like romancy, and the ending kind of like isn't quite there for that. Okay, which is fine. We're gonna see all of my subscriptions here in a second. That's fine. What's the other one? Who do we want to put this up against? Comedy? We could do comedy. Comedy of a Spy Family. Because since a lot of Spy Family episodes are like pretty self-contained, it feels a little weird. Like it doesn't feel weird for the endings, right? I like the way that the ending transitions from the show. Mm, but Attack on Titan had a really good ending. And I'm a sucker for when they have like piano in there. The piano was very pronounced. Or I'll give it to Attack on Titan. I'll do it. All right. Best opening sequence. Oh, didn't we already vote on this one? What did we vote? Oh, we voted on best anime song before because this is different. We have Mixed Nuts, which is the first opening. Chiki Chiki Bon Bon. This one's a tough one. I don't care for the Cyberpunk opening. It's too short for me to really give it the same. Zankyo Sanka. Let's listen to at least two of them. Zankyo Sanka. Oh, there's a first take. And I love Aimer, right? Oh. Do we have like the official animation? I don't think we do. Okay, we'll watch this one then. Right? Like this opening is good. This opening is good. All right. All right, it's yeah, Chiki Chiki Bon Bon. We'll do that one. Chiki Chiki Bomb Bomb? Maybe? Because it's fun. This is such a tonal shift from the last one we just watched. Bear with me, everybody. Okay. Okay. This is tough. This is really tough now, I will say. Because we can agree that it's between the Rumbling, Zankyo Sanka, and Chiki Chiki Bon Bon. We can agree on that. Or maybe not. I know we have a couple front runners for the Rumbling, but because Demon Slayer looks pretty, but Demon Slayer's also done by Ufotable, right? And like that's a huge coin in their box. Oh, Chiki Chiki Bon Bon's fun. It's upbeat. It's neat. It's nifty. But is it nifty enough to win out over Aimer for me? Mappa crying right now. Not to take anything away from Mappa. They've done a lot of great stuff. But like when something's done by Ufotable, you can tell like it's done by Ufotable. It's the same way with Mappa. It's different styles. I like bright, flashy colors because it stimulates my eyes more. I nominate Teen Titans for the music alone. Ignore the fact it's not an anime. It came out in 2006. It's one of the few things I know. I'm gonna go with Demon Slayer, only because in terms of artists, I listen to Aimer a lot more than the artists that did the Attack on Titan opening. When was the last time they talked to their families? That one was very tough. Okay, best continuing series. We should see some new. Oh my god, it's okay. What was the best installment? One Piece, Kaguya-sama, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Made in Abyss, Attack on Titan, or Demon Slayer? Do I even have to say it? For best continuing series. So this was the second season for Demon Slayer, right? The second season after a movie. They took a movie break and then came back and they did the second season. It's similar for Made in Abyss. Made in Abyss had a movie break and then a second season. Attack on Titan did not have a movie break and is on the... It's what, 1, 2, and then the final one? In terms of second seasons, Demon Slayer did really well. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, for best continuing series, that's tough. Because my favorite part is part 5. Part 6 was good. It wasn't bad by any means. But it wasn't my favorite part. So if we're just evaluating based on the season, the AoT season ending was probably the only issue. Right? Is the fact that like it's still ongoing, to me, is an issue. One Piece is under the anime? Is it April? Is it April 1st yet? That's funny. That's really funny, random. What exceeded my expectations, though? Let's start there. Attack on Titan, did it exceed my expectations? No. It was good, but did it exceed what I was expecting? I don't think so. We'll come back to that one. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure did not exceed my expectations because part 5 was really good and part 6 was really good too. Made in Abyss just recently got announced, the next season coming out for it. And that's exciting because I do love this show. I love the direction that it's going. And there's a lot that happens in the second season. Even though it doesn't feel like it, we have parallel stories that are happening and they come together. And when they come together, you make a lot of connections passively to the first season and to the movie, and it's really well put together. Okay, so let's evaluate. Let's because this is going to be tough. So what I'm going to use as my metric for evaluation here is how well the ending of the season sets up the next part. JoJo's is out because all of the parts are relatively self-contained. Kaguya-sama does set up the next season very well. It has an incredible finale. It got the internet buzzing a bit, and it was good. But Attack on Titan also, like, I think Attack on Titan sets up the next part probably the best, right? Because we start with the rumbling, Eren's moving towards the island, they're running out of time, and then the season ends. Hashtag justice for Lum, for real. I would have voted that for best comedy. One Piece is still going, though. Like, I feel like that's like one of like the norms of society now, right? One Piece gets a new episode every week. Egg prices go up, you know, the economy, Bitcoin. It's all in there, right? This is tough. Best continuing series. How? I want to vote for Made in Abyss because I love that show. And it sets up the next part well. It doesn't do a bad job of doing it. But I don't think it gets me invested as much as Attack on Titan does or as Demon Slayer does. Or Kaguya. We're down to those three now. We're down to the upper L. All relationships equal death. Death, taxes, and One Piece. Exactly, right? That's all the consistent laws of the land. Because Kaguya-sama, right? For Attack on Titan, I'm not as hyped because I don't know what else there is after the ending. Right, like, I think I would have been more... I would be more in favor of saying Attack on Titan if it wasn't for the fact that there's going to be 2 more seasons that are taking apart, like, the last, like, 15 chapters or so of the manga. Because we're at the finish line, and we've been making that finish line last a long time. If we go off of pacing, I would remove Attack on Titan. But Kaguya-sama and Demon Slayer set up the next arc very well. Because there's a conclusion point, right? Attack on Titan doesn't have, like, quite the conclusion point. Where it's not like this arc has finished, we're starting the next arc. It's more of a cliffhanger of an ending to starting the next season. So we have a cliffhanger, 2 arcs finished. But how much does Demon Slayer in the last episode set up the swordsmithing village arc? And I don't think it sets it up very well. I don't think it sets up that arc. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good conclusion to the ending, but we don't, like, quite... Like, we get teasers later that bring us up to, like, oh, cool, like, that's the next arc? Awesome. Whereas Kaguya-sama, we have, like, an ending of an arc, the teasing of a new arc. Yeah, like, and Demon Slayer does that really well, right? That, like, they conclude their arc, and a lot of the setup for the next arc comes in the next season, right? And I think that's going to be the determining factor here, is because, like, if Demon Slayer, for whatever reason, just ended at the conclusion of this arc for an amount of time that was a long period of time, I would be excited for the next season to come out, but I wouldn't be like, oh my god, can we get the next season? I'm really excited for it. So if I put it in that perspective for me, it's between Kage and Attack on Titan. But what had the more impactful installment? Kaguya-sama's impact comes within like the last couple episodes, right? Like the last 2 episodes. Attack on Titan, again, it's because it's a constant thing. It's not quite the roller coaster. Am I just gonna vote for Attack on Titan? I think I am. Thank you, ad banner. I will not take drugs now. I wasn't planning anyway, but still. Don't do drugs, kids. Bad for your health. Okay, we're voting for Attack on Titan there. Because I think it had the most impactful installment overall, and also sets up for the next installment. That's why we're voting Attack on Titan. Demon Slayer is a great installment, but it doesn't set up the Swordsmith arc that well. And because I'm using those as my metrics, that's how I'm taking it. Best new series. Oh no. We have Cyberpunk Edgerunners, Call of the Night, Licorice Recoil, Spy Family, Your Boy Kong Ming, and My Dress Up Darling. If I had to base this, I'm going to base this off of original works. And I'm pretty sure 4 out of 6 of these are based off of a manga, and 2 of them are not. And those 2 are Licorice Recoil and Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Between those 2, what are the big moments in them? For Cyberpunk, there's a lot. I love Lucy to pieces. She's great. Spy Family was good. Again, the tennis episode gives me a lot of life. I love that episode. That episode's very funny. Thank God Attack on Titan isn't here. But in terms of, like, originality, execution of it, songs, and overall general impact for me, I'm gonna have to go with Licorice Recoil over Cyberpunk here. But it's such a narrow window because, again, Cyberpunk, I watched all in one sitting, right? Because I could. And it was great from start to finish. And I loved all of the characters. And the one thing that it does well is that character deaths have meaning, right? They don't just feel like they exist to progress the plot. Sure, the act of them dying does progress the plot in some degree, but there's a lot of meaning given to those characters while they're on screen, and as much meaning is given to them as they're off screen and once they die. And that's a really hard thing to do, is to have a character's death be meaningful to most of the characters in the show. Whereas Licorice Recoil, I go back to the ending scene again, where Takina slams into the gutter, and there's so much emotion from Takina in the show that really drives me to be like, I want, like they deserve to be happy, right? But if we go off that metric, David and Lucy deserve to be happy, right? I watched like the first 4 episodes when they came out of Call of the Night, Ogval, and then I put it down for a while and then came back to finish it because I'm like, oh, we got to finish it, right? So I agree with you that Call of the Night's like mid, maybe a step above mid, but it's definitely in that, like, you know, it's in that 5 to 7 range of show. Because Cyberpunk also has great inclusion and integration of music from the game, and a lot of the character designs are great. Licorice Recoil has that great dynamic of like schoolgirls trained to like prevent crime. So what only show like thing I've watched is Breaking Bad. Welcome in, Day Trade Gamer. I think I'm gonna give this one to Licorice Recoil. Because for the entire reason of different, it does the thing that a few shows do where they have a break in the middle of the show and a lot of those attention grabber cards, a lot of that art was incredible. I love the one with them with spider lilies on the final episode. Is it good? Licorice Recoil? It is very good. It's very good. I have struggled to not vote for it on a few of these because I really, really liked it. All right, we're on to best animation now. I'm gonna give it to Demon Slayer on that fight scene alone. I think I'm gonna give it to Demon Slayer. I don't think this one, I'm not going to talk about this one at all. That one's pretty clear cut for me. Cyberpunk does a lot of cool things. It's Trigger. I love Trigger's animation style, but it's Ufotable's on a whole nother level here. Why is Spy Family here? It's not bad, but I feel like it's the most normal animation out of all of the ones listed here, right? It doesn't do anything quirky, different, new, or unique. And it doesn't have quite the same impact that Demon Slayer does or Attack on Titan does. The only thing I remember from Akebi's sailor uniform is like in the first episode, someone slaps a character's butt and there's like a good jiggle there and like it's animated really well, but that's the only thing I remember from that show. Best character design. Whew, we have JoJo, Cyberpunk, Spy Family, Demon Slayer. Cyberpunk being here is an issue because the style of all of the characters is, sure, they're all cyberpunk, but they're all radically different. You want to give it to JoJo's here? That's crazy. Because the character designs in JoJo is really good, but I don't think that I should give character design to... I don't think Masanori is the author of JoJo's. Right? But I guess in terms of design for animation, like, is it JoJo's? Because JoJo's and Cyberpunk here follow the same energy of they both have radically different character designs within a theme. I say dress up because of the whole cosplay concept. See, because that's a really good concept to address here. Because Dress Up Darling, we have a lot of different outfits for the main character, which is something we don't see a lot in shows, right? Main characters typically have one outfit, maybe two outfits, and that's it, right? And so we see an evolution of outfits in Cyberpunk. We see David change a little bit. He kind of like fills out his clothes more, right? Which is a different design for a character, and it's a neat way to take the character. But JoJo's has so many different styled characters, has so many different styled stands. I think I give it to JoJo's here. I think I do. I think I give it to JoJo's here because there's such a variety in the characters and the stands that they fight, right? It's not like part 3 or part 4 or part 5 where for the most part the majority of the stands are humanoid-ish. We get a lot of crazy styles in part 6. I'm gonna give it to JoJo's here. So now we have the last two, which is Best Original Anime. So we have Birdie Wing, Healer Girl, The Orbital Children, Yurei Deco, Vampire in the Garden, and Licorice Recoil. I'm gonna start off right now by saying Vampire in the Garden is such a boring and dull show. I don't like that show. It's the only show on here that I've gone, that show did not spark joy for me at all. It was very hard to get through. It was very boring. I fell asleep 3 times while watching it. The Orbital Children was okay. It wasn't my cup of tea. Healer Girl was neat because it's taking a concept of kind of idol shows and then making the main characters be like these girls. They're learning how to sing because they've learned that the power of song can help heal people and like heal wounds and like cure diseases and what. It's a neat concept. We're voting Vampire in the Garden, but this one's a hands down for me. I'm going for Licorice Recoil, or Licorice Recoil, however you say it, because it's a phenomenal show. It's great. It's high impact. It's high energy. It's got a great opening, great ending, great characters, great concept, great world building that's already happened. And like, we don't need to be a part of the world being built because the concept's easy to bite into. So I'm giving it to this. All right, and then anime of the year. Whoo! Okay. We have the most recent season of Attack on Titan, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Licorice Recoil, Spy Family, Ranking of the Kings, specifically Core 2, and then Demon Slayer, specifically the second season. This is tough. This is tough. AoT got it last year with season 4, part 1. And I was okay with there, but for overall, right? What had a great thing? What had an opening that I liked, an ending that I liked? What had good animation? It's between 3 for me. And it's probably none of the 3 that you guys are thinking. It's between Demon Slayer, Licorice Recoil, and Spy Family. So we're gonna go through moments. How many moments I can name from the show off of memory. You know, I like Ranking of Kings. It's a pretty good show. I have no clue how it got nominated for Anime of the Year. Spy Family. What I like about Spy Family is that a lot of the episodes feel kind of like self-contained, right? Like, they lead into other episodes. It's a great story point, but every episode is like, that was a really great episode. I'm glad that episode ended. I'm really excited for the next episode. Between these 3, my main reason for Demon Slayer is because of the anime surprised with quality animation. Right? It's Ufotable did this arc of Demon Slayer. It looked phenomenal. And very few moments come close to the moment when Tengen shows up on screen. Tanjiro's about to eat dirt. Everything goes quiet. Tengen shows up. The clang of metal starts the sound back into the show, and then Tengen starts his fight, and he says to Tanjiro, "Don't give up." And that is that's my favorite moment that happened this year. Nothing for me has come up to that level. Right, Nezuko transforming. There were so many great moments that happened, and the build up to them was incredible, right? Because in that fight with Tengen, right, Tanjiro's fighting and he starts to win, right? And you're like, oh my god, Tanjiro's gonna do it, right? You get excited, and then the tables start turning very quickly against Tanjiro, and you're like, oh, this isn't gonna end well. And then right at that moment, right when you think all hope is lost, Tengen shows up. And Licorice Recoil has a very, very similar moment when Chisato is fighting against the big bad, and she's on her own. It's pitch black in the area. The guy she's fighting is completely cued into sound. That's like his ability. And Chisato can't see anything, and she relies entirely on her vision, right? And Takina shows up. She shows up, and then it cuts to the ending. And that was such a strong moment, because I love when shows have a great scene and then cuts to the ending, right? So if the episode ended when, as soon as Tengen's blade parries with Gyotaro's, as soon as that parry happened, if it cut to the ending, I would have been like, that was an incredible moment, right? And I think then it would win over Licorice Recoil, but I think because of the way that Licorice Recoil plays into its ending, plays into that ending sequence with Takina breaking down the gate. Oh, is that enough for me to say that Licorice Recoil was Anime of the Year? Yeah, just the anime. Just the Rengoku? Nah, none of that. Nah, we don't care about Rengoku in these woods. Oh God, but do I? Because Spy Family's fun the whole time. And if I go off of if I like the opening and if I like the ending, Licorice Recoil hits both, Demon Slayer hits both, and Spy Family hits both. And if we go for meat, right? Spy Family had 24 episodes this year. That's a lot of meat. Demon Slayer was 12, Licorice Recoil was 12. So if I have to say what maintained the quality for the longest time, if AoT wins again, I'm going to start laughing hysterically, and it's 2:17 a.m. So if we take it over episodes, because season 1 of Spy Family is pretty good, because Spy Family is always good for me. There's not an episode where I'm like, I didn't really like that episode. I do wish we had more episodes with Yor as the focus, but that's fine. Oh, but if I feel that way, then it's not anime of the year, right? So then it comes down to Licorice and Demon Slayer again. And if I go off of what was the greatest moment and what was the greatest ending for me, is that Licorice is an original anime. It was 12 episodes and it ends, right? And the ending is such a good ending because it plays into a lot of characters and we have a lot of character growth throughout those 12 episodes. Do I say that it's better than Demon Slayer? I'm going to say it's better than Demon Slayer. Because Demon Slayer for me is a series of great moments. In the same way Licorice is. But in terms of because the entertainment arc does end there. This is tough. Because the entertainment district arc is pretty contained, right? We don't really have a build up to it. It happens and it ends, right? We don't have a build up to the next thing. It ends. And if it were to end there for a long amount of time, I'd be like, okay, I understand. If Spy Family were to go on hiatus for a long time, I would be like, that sucks, right? But I would want more of it. It's from where it ended off of the last season, right? I'm like, I want more Spy Family. And I want more Demon Slayer. But Licorice ends, right? And I think that's really important, is that it ended. And it ended in a really good way. And I think endings are hard to do. Especially in a way that makes me happy. That's a very rare thing. Like, I'll be like, I like the way it ended. Or I'll be like, the way it ended was stupid, right? I feel like I have that feeling a lot. I'm voting for Licorice Recoil here. How crazy. How crazy. Whew. Okay, let's do... Okay, so... And then the special categories... Never mind, we don't get to vote on those. Those are done by industry guests. Okay. So if I click on this... Okay. Well, that's it. So, we have maybe I should have highlighted this for all of them. It's a show that sets the standard for the anime over the last year, towering over all others. It's a compelling story, beautiful artistic execution, and unforgettable characters, all combined in a unique way to create a masterpiece that deserves singular recognition. I think Licorice Recoil hits that on the head. So I stand by that decision. That was good. Oh, that was fun. That was like an hour and a half of voting. There's gonna be so much for me to edit out of this. Woo! How'd you boys like that? Was that fun? I had a lot of fun doing this. It's a shame that most of the categories boil down to like, is it Attack on Titan or Demon Slayer? But you know, it's the same way the Game Awards boil down to Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok, right? I hope it'll be harder next time, because Spy Family really threw a wrench in the works, but it didn't throw enough of a wrench in it for me compared to like those two heavy hitters, right? Best Fantasy, we gave it to Demon Slayer, but I think Mushoku Tensei might have been the better fantasy. But again, the way that we rated it based off of like impactful moments And Demon Slayer had more impactful moments than Mushoku Tensei did for me. Will there ever be a year where there's equal competition? I think there should just be more variety in it, right? Because, you know, like, for example, Best Drama, right, has Attack on Titan, Cyberpunk, Made in Abyss, 86, and then 2 shows that don't appear again, right? Neither of those shows are going to win, because neither of those shows have the same reach or impact that Attack on Titan did, that Made in Abyss had, or that Cyberpunk had, right? Results when? I don't know when results are, but voting ends tomorrow at 5 p.m. I imagine the results will probably be announced on Friday then. Or early next week. It seems weird that Chainsaw Man wasn't in here for like best anime song at all. That's kind of bewildering that it wasn't in here for best anime song, best ending sequence, or best opening sequence. Like that's a little crazy. That's a little crazy. Because especially Fight Song. Fight Song by Eve is so good. It's wild. It ended this year. Maybe that's why. Maybe that is why. That would make sense. But then, like, better be on there next year is all I'm saying. All right, that was fun. That was fun. Do we want to play Dead Rising now? I think we do. I think I do.